Jake Brandon here with CougConnect, and we've got our special guest with us today. Why don't you tell us about yourself? Introduce yourself, Kody.
I'm Kody Epps. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I play high school football in Orange County at Mater Dei High School, and I'm now a student-athlete football player at BYU.
Very good. So Mater Dei is kind of like a powerhouse, one of the top programs in the country, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about what's that like? What's that program?
The biggest thing is just the academic atmosphere, I think, that you're in. When you get there, it's very competitive, and it's just like a college. It's like college nature and atmosphere when you're there, because each and every classroom you have to be really locked in, dialed into what you're doing. And then from there, it sparks onto the football field, because now you're coming from school already locked into your work that you have to do. And then when it comes to athletics, you're locked in the same way. And I think that's kind of the biggest thing, just being from there and being able to be a part of that environment. It took my thinking to the next level when I hit the field and when I was in the classroom. So.
Seems like it probably prepared you for BYU as well, because it's pretty big academic standards here at BYU. Would you say so?
Yes, academic standards are crazy here, with the integrity that you have to have, and just the like I said, being locked in 24/7, because the classes are pretty rigorous, and even the basic classes call for you to do a lot. So yeah, it's definitely.
I'm gonna interrupt us because I forgot something super important.
My hearing?
No, you're good.
Oh.
No, Cedar Fort Publishing and Media. Cedar Fort Publishing and Media is sponsoring this episode. It's our second ever episode that's sponsored by Cedar Fort. Our first was Carter Wheat last month, and they've got this book for sale for all the Cougar fans on their site. You can use the promo code COUG25 to get 25% off your whole order, not just this book, anything you want. And their sponsorship allows us to give this video straight to YouTube for free. It allows us to pay guys like Kody and NIL deals and stuff like that. So big shout out to them. Thank you, Cedar Fort. Really appreciate you. So anyway, now I got that out of the way. I almost spaced it. What kind of offense did you run at Mater Dei?
So we ran spread, but it was mostly 10 personnel, and 10 personnel means one running back on the field, 0 tight ends, and 4 receivers. So yeah, so it's kind of different from BYU, because we run 11 and 12 most of the time, which is a lot of times we have a tight end on the field. So, but it was a kind of a crazy adjustment when I first got here, because at Mater Dei I was typically the wide receiver, which is always to the strength, and the slot, and our tight ends are the Ys here. So just understanding, like, when I hear why this, why that I'm not doing that. So yeah, it was kind of a little weird transition at the beginning, but I got used to it once.
So you play more X or Z now, or what was our other slot? We call that an F, or what do we call that slot? F.
So I play typically F. I would love to be in the slot most of the time, just because I like to work the middle of the field, and I like to get mix matches with like linebackers, safeties, and stuff like that. But we play everything. Like Fessy kind of just moves us around wherever we gotta play. We play.
Yeah, I've seen you play on the outside. I've seen you take jet sweeps from the F position in your first year in 2020. So you do a variety of things.
Yeah.
So tell us about that year, 2020. That was a wild year for BYU football. Tell us a little bit about that.
It was definitely a eye-opener stepping into college football. You have no fans. You have a schedule that was made out of puzzle pieces that were found from all over the place. And just getting thrown into that was a great experience for me, just because you get to see that it's a different aspect when you're out of high school, when it's more of a controlled environment. When you get to college, where pieces are moving so fast and things have to get done. So just understanding that you have to hone in and be locked in with your team and whatever you're doing, because pieces may be moving that you have no control of, but you have to get the job done, and you have to play a football game, and you have to go to school, and you have to go to class, and all those things. So that was kind of my biggest takeaway from that, is just in life now when I move forward, that when things are distorted, just find what I'm doing and move forward with that. So
kind of control what you can control.
Exactly.
Focus on what you're able to deal with.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's our status right now? I've seen some highlights from spring ball. It looks like you're 100% healthy.
Yes, I'm 100% healthy and moving forward and ready to ball out.
What was your injury exactly, Kody?
So I had a toe injury, which is sesamoiditis, which is the ball of your foot has 2 little bones. They're called sesamoids, and one of mine's cracked into 2. So they had to go in and take that one out. And the painful process wasn't the actual surgery. It was the rehab post-surgery, because it's such an intricate surgery that, and it's such an intricate problem that most people don't have. So when someone does have it, it takes a little bit longer, because a lot of people don't know how to properly rehab it like they would an ACL or ankle or something like that.
Something you see all the time.
Exactly.
But you're feeling good.
Yes, 100% good.
You get behind the defense?
Yeah.
No problem?
Yeah, I do. I'm trying to be modest as possible.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, stay modest. But it's been looking like you've been doing really well. So.
Yeah, I've been doing my fair share and having fun while doing it.
Tell us about that wide receiver room, because it seems like there's a lot of dudes in that wide receiver room.
It's a lot of dudes. I think that is just going to rise everybody to the occasion, and I think the biggest thing about having that is when you have a lot of dudes and you have a lot of dudes that know what they're doing in the offense, I think if anyone drops off or anything like that, the next man steps up, and it's going to be no drop off. It's going to be nothing that needs to really be mended back. You're just going to have everybody ready to go at each and every moment. So I think it rises each and every one of us. So
do you feel like there's a little bit of a vacuum with Samson, who's now moving on, to fill his spot there? Because there's minutes available, right? And there's some pretty good candidates. There's you. There's Keanu. I'm going to forget other guys too. Chase Roberts. Do you feel like there's kind of almost like we talk about the quarterback competitions all the time, all that, but do you think there's a little bit of a competition for some minutes there?
Yes, I definitely think it's a competition. And I said Chase Roberts, but each and every one of them, Terrence Fall, McGuire Anderson, Kay Moore, Hobbs Nyberg, Braden Cosper, like each and every one of us in that room can fill that role. It's just a matter of us healthily competing against each other and pushing each other for the next step and just to be ready for that role. Like I said, so if something does happen to someone that fills that role, that someone else is ready to get in. So I think it's definitely competition, but I think it's more a competition against the outside world rather than in our room. It's more against the defenses that we're thinking about and stuff like that, because we all work together, we all care for each other. So I think it's pretty cool how we are all coming from different places and high recruited and all that type of stuff, and we're all able to be locked in when it's time for film and practice and stuff. So I love my group. Yeah.
Excellent. It's an impressive group, man. Like you can't look at that and not get excited.
Yeah, no, it's pretty lit.
Right? Like
pretty lit.
I think there's a bunch of playmakers there. So tell me a little bit about the offense, because it seems like we lost Tyler, but Chris looks super promising on film. I'm hearing super positive things from players on the team about Chris. Do you think we're going to be more balanced, or do you think we're going to be able to lean on that run game and that awesome line that we've got? What are your thoughts on that?
I think Chris Brooks is an amazing running back from what I've seen too. Like I watched that dude, and that dude is a tank coming through the middle. And my favorite thing about him is he does not shy away from contact. He takes contact head on. So I think from my personal watching and seeing what I'm seeing, I think it's going to be pretty balanced. I think we're going to take shots downfield. We're going to be able to hit quick game things and take things down the field and make explosive plays, and then run the ball as well, because we have some dudes like Lopini, Lopini, Chris, and Miles Davis back there that can get the ball and run too. So I think in our tight end. So I think it's going to be a fair share of everybody getting a chance.
Tell me about Miles, because he's a guy we haven't seen a ton from, because he got banged up in spring ball or fall ball last year. But what is Miles' game like? What would you kind of compare it to, or tell us about Miles?
I think Miles is great at when the ball's in his hands, he's able to make plays, because he can get running, and he has quick moves and he has quick twitch. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just getting the ball in his hands and just letting him work. I think that's what we were trying to find out, how to do best. And once he figures that out and we figure that out, we'll be all right.
Good. Good to hear. So the schedule coming up, have you peeked at the schedule?
Yes, I peek at it 24/7. It excites me, and I'm at an all-time high when I'm looking at that schedule. So I'm just blessed, man, just to be able to look at a schedule and be like, I'm ready to play, and I'll be a part of that. That's my biggest thing, is just being happy to look at it and say I will be there. I will be in that stadium on that day. So yeah, not too much. I know a couple guys on some of the other teams, but I'm just happy to be with my team playing. So
that's awesome, man. And you play Oregon at Oregon. Is that right?
Yes.
And you have a good friend that plays at Oregon?
Yes.
What's his name?
My best friend, Race. He plays at Oregon right now, so I can't wait to look across the sideline and look at him over there.
You guys played at Modern Day together, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's cool. What do you think, Race? How's that game going to go? We got Race in studio here,
I'm not going to say nothing.
No comment.
No comment.
I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a really good game.
Yeah, so.
That's awesome. So, your family, are they able to come out to many of the games?
Yes.
Okay, so.
Yes, so my family would come out a lot during the COVID. Not crazy, because there would be some games where they say fans were allowed, and then they're not allowed the day before. So But my family got a good chance to come out to like 4 or 5 of my games during that season. And then last season they came to a couple of games, but they didn't make all of them, of course, because if they don't have to take off work when I'm not playing, they're not gonna take off work. So, but yeah, I got to see them a good amount.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So they're excited. They're going to be here for these games too, right?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about how you got to BYU, because it seems like on signing day it was a little bit like, we got you. Everyone was super jazzed. Like, everyone was way excited.
Mm-hmm.
But it almost seemed like a little bit of a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about your recruiting process in high school, like how you ended up at BYU.
So my recruiting process wasn't slow. I had coaches definitely checking in with me, seeing how I was doing, and making sure that they knew it was a mutual understanding that we would possibly be a part of each other's lives soon. Mm-hmm. But when BYU offered me, it just felt different. I was just more excited about it. I was more ecstatic, and I was just like, I just felt like, I know it sounds, crazy when people talk like God spoke to me, but it kind of felt like God was speaking to me like, this is the place you need to be, and this is the place you need to go play football and learn how to be a great person on and off the field in the classroom and expand on that. So I was kind of thrown off at first because, you get a random call from Brigham Young University, and then you go talk to your friends, and all they talk about is, oh, that's a weird school and all that type of stuff. But me, I was just trying to find out the details, like how could I fit best and what I could bring to the program and what the programs could bring to my life, and all the stars aligned. So that's why I'm here.
That's awesome, man. And it seems like you're not afraid to push yourself and do better based on all the experience you had at Modern Day. Like, you're not shying away from a difficult situation. You're out to be the best player you can be.
Yes.
And I think BYU is a perfect fit
definitely.
for that. So what are some other schools? Because wasn't Utah talking to you some too? And I know, I'm trying to remember. It's been years now. But
is Utah, USC, a little bit UCLA, Oregon. I actually got an offer from Oregon, Mountain West schools, and then Arizona State. It was just
most pretty much Pac-12. Some of the bigger teams at Pac-12, all at Mountain West, and all that. Okay, well, perfect. Well, I'm happy you're here, man.
Yes, thank you.
I'm super happy you're here.
I'm stoked to be here too.
So now that you're here, what's it like? What's the experience been like coming to BYU? Not a member of the church, but
I think the experience has been very eye-opening. At first, when I got here, there would be times where I would be like, man, why are things closed on Sunday? Like, sometimes I want to go back home and see the city life again. But, man, like, once I started to, my injury kind of opened my eyes so much. Like, being to myself a lot more, I became more appreciative of being here because I'm at a place where you really get to focus on whatever you're doing. You get to focus on your craft, school, how you are socially, even religiously. Like, no one really pushes the LDS faith upon me. Right. But there are churches that I can lean out to that are of my faith that I go out to and that I'm able to go to, and they understand what it's like to be a non-member out here attending school and stuff like that. So I'm like blessed. I probably use blessed too much, but that's probably the best adjective I could use to describe like how I am and when I'm here. So
it's funny, we had Caleb Hayes on. He said the exact same thing. He said, I love it at BYU because I can focus 100% on football and I can focus 100% on school. There's no distractions unless I go find them. And then we talked to Tyler Algier at our event, and he said, you know what, it was just different. He's like, first of all, BYU was my best offer. Don't get me wrong. BYU was my best offer. But it was different, and I felt a special feeling when I came to BYU, and I felt like God wanted me there. So it's kind of cool to hear you kind of echo those two guys' same sentiments about the process of coming here. Perfect. So
strength in numbers. When you hear that multiple times, you it's not a coincidence. Like, we're not talking in the back like, oh, let's go say this. No, like, it's true. It's an intimate feeling when you're out here because you get people that genuinely care about you and genuinely want to see you prosper in all aspects of your life. So
that's awesome. So I've got questions from Cougar Board, our friends at Cougar Board.
Yes.
This is, I'm going to pronounce his name wrong. It's an anonymous name too, so it's not even his real name. So he can't get mad.
It's all good.
It's from Crim Wall Coug.
Okay.
And he says, why is Kody interested in majoring in entrepreneurship?
So, with that being said, like I said, when I'm in my injury, I found out a lot about myself. I found out that I have ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. When it comes to having to sit down and really just do classwork and strenuous like stuff, just sitting there. So that was one of the majors that really kind of sparked some plugs in my mind. Just being able to like find multiple things that get you going and that make you happy and that make you want to wake up and go to work and work on. And I love the idea of just working on multiple projects and just finding like what's your niche and what do you want to go with life through, what you want to go through life with,
right.
and what do you want to focus on. So that was kind of the major that kind of hit me and was like, I can do this and still, while going through this major and while going through life, I can have this title as an entrepreneur, still figuring out what I need to do and what I really want to do. Unlike other majors where you finish those classes and you're kind of funneled to connect and network with those people under that major. And definitely people find different, job titles and jobs that they can find once they get a major. But that's one that really kind of sparked my mind.
Yeah, actually, I love to read. Just shout out to Cedar Fort, but I love to read. And one of the books I'm reading right now is called The E Myth, and the E is for entrepreneur, and it talks about how the entrepreneur in us is exactly what you described. It's a person who's going, exploring, looking for new ways to improve things and make things better. Find your niche, all that stuff. And I think you'll kill it, man. I think you got a lot of charisma in that. I think you have a bright future as an entrepreneur.
Appreciate that.
So here we go. He's got some many phases to this question. Let's see. What kind of things has he been involved with the Built partnership, if any? I'm guessing that's Built for Life and not Built Bar, but I'm guessing Built for Life, where he's asking about entrepreneurship.
So Built for Life, I've been into it when it comes to like team meetings and stuff like that. But since being injured and when Built for Life came up, I wasn't really locked into it as much because I was trying to figure out so much other stuff and trying to focus on school completely. I think that will be a great question in the next coming months when I'm able to start talking,
getting involved more.
Exactly, and start networking a little bit more, because I don't have as much to focus on other than playing and school and stuff like that, not like rehab, school.
It's a great program, man. It ties you in with some of the top guys in the area.
Definitely.
And there's so many successful businesses around here, big businesses, small businesses, like all that. Let's see. And then his last question is, have you noticed a loss and explosion with your recent surgery?
No, I haven't lost any explosion. What I do think happened when coming back is I have been a little more timid to make certain movements, but I'm getting over that hump because as practice goes on and we're doing more stuff and I'm doing stuff on my own, I'm starting
to plant and cut movement.
Well, not just that, just some of like as a receiver, we talk about releases that we do off the line of scrimmage to make a DB move, and some of those releases I wasn't doing as often. So coming back, I'm not as used to doing them, but now I'm getting over that because I'm working on them on my own, and that practice I'm trying to do them more. But explosiveness is still there. I'm still able to giddy up and
get behind the D, stretch those safeties.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We're gonna take a quick break. We're going to rearrange the camera angles. We're going to get our whiteboard set up. Okay. And I want you to teach us some football knowledge. Some Kody special.
Deal.
Okay, perfect. We'll be right back. So we're back with Kody. Cody's going to drop some football knowledge on us here. Kody, tell us what you're going to teach.
So, that's what I'll do. I'll show how to understand pre-snap what's going on with the defense on the back end.
Love it. So
I will start off with cover one. Cover one is one high safety. 9 times out of 10, you'll have a backer in the middle of the field. It's like we call it a rat player, just sniffing out something coming into the middle underneath. And then the post player is the one high safety that takes anything to the middle of the field. And then, so we'll say, Will, and then we'll say nickel. So the nickel and Will backer typically are dudes that can move in a cover one defense because they have the guard slots across the field. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to line outside. The reason they line up outside is because they have help in the middle of the field. Because if they lined up inside, then they would be funneling dudes to the outside. So corners are typically going to be head up or inside leverage because their help is also to the middle. So they want to funnel everything to the sideline, which is their, kind of safety that helps them out too.
Another defender, right? You push them out of bounds on the catch or whatever, it's another defender.
Yes. So, I would say just like something as easy as a double slant concept, which is like kind of universal. When you run slants in its cover one defense, as the outside receiver, you want to take a little bit more time because you understand that this guy is going to have to beat him across the face because he has help inside. So 9 times out of 10, he's not going to be getting the ball unless this rat player is seeing something on this side. So if this guy, I'll move to him. If this guy sees a tailback back here, away from the slot, I'll just do this. And if the rat player sniffs something out from the tailback, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna pick that up. So let's say we have the tailback doing something coming out here. He's gonna sniff that out and sees it going out here. So as soon as he sees that going out there, he's gonna check his eyes back to the backside and see what's coming in here. So as the slot player, in the covers like this, 9 times out of 10 you won't get the ball, but you still can get the ball because he's playing outside leverage and you're running an inside route. This guy has a little bit more time because when the DB is pressed up inside, you have to make a couple moves so you can get leverage and run a route.
Stem him where you want, get open, right?
Exactly. Because if you just get jammed or you run a one-step slant, the quarterback doesn't have time with the action that he's using to get the ball to you.
Mm-hmm.
So and when you come out and you see that, let's say I'm the Z, so I'm the outside over here, and I see that the guy over the F is sitting outside, and I see a post safety, 9 times out of 10, that's cover 3 or cover 1 because of the alignment. Now, if I come out and I see 2 high, safeties are here, that can be cover 4, depending on what the corner's doing.
Mm-hmm.
If the corner is sitting head up or a little bit outside, that could be cover 2 because it's a 2 high safety and he's trying to funnel you inside and be the help defender in the flat. But if he's head up or a shade inside or can even play with you outside, 9 times out of 10 he's going to drop back in a cover 4 look, which cover 4 turns into man depending on the depth that you get. And what we typically like to do in film is Coach Fessy, our receiver coach, will put up, when we're watching film against the defense, he'll put up a still picture of what the defense is doing and then ask us what cover do we think is happening or like all those type of stuff depending on what's going on with the defense, and that's the type of stuff that we look at.
So you say you put up a still photo of the team you're playing that week.
Yes.
Because it can kind of vary
Yes.
depending on the personnel and how they leverage people and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
In high school, it's pretty easy because you can almost look at those corners. You can see if they're inside, outside. But also, if they're in cover 4, a lot of times they're given big cushion.
Exactly.
But in college, they can recover.
Yes.
Dude. Those guys can fly.
Yes.
So you have to really know what the different coverages look like to be
Yes.
prepared for that.
And you're running against defensive coordinators that have been doing this longer than I've been alive. So
Exactly.
they have ways of disguising stuff and setting up different packages and putting dudes in different places that you're not expecting.
Have you noticed a defense that rolls a lot of safeties and moves a lot of coverages post-snap? What's some defenses you've seen that do that?
I think when we played against Arizona last year, they used to do that a lot because Don Brown, who was at Michigan, we watched a lot of that film. He had a lot of funky looks where safeties would turn into corners and corners would turn into linebackers and all type of stuff. So that's one defense that I think.
And I feel like you guys played pretty vanilla on offense because you hadn't seen a lot of film with the personnel he had and with the things he had.
Yeah.
But it was fine. We really controlled the whole game
Yeah.
with that everything.
So for example, like Neil, I think the touchdown that he scored, that was something that we were watching. You know,
was it a smash concept? I can't remember if it was smash.
Kind of like smash,
Smash.
Yeah. So basically, ran a corner post because we understood that they would be probably in one or something where they would drop the safety to the opposite side, and he would leave him man up with this safety over here. So he just beat him to the inside and got
no help.
No help.
Gone.
So yeah,
Love it.
Yep.
Love it.
So
Well, thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for
appreciate
dropping
you.
knowledge on us. I got some swag for you.
Thank you.
This is classy stuff. Okay, I
Appreciate
hope you appreciate this.
I'm a classy guy.
Yeah, this is a pin. You put on your
Yes.
backpack. You can
Yes.
put on there. If it's too cheesy for you, you go to kindergartner. They'll flip out. They'll
Okay.
love it.
all
This is a
good.
sticker for your water bottle.
Thank you.
Your
My
drink,
computer.
your computer. That.
Yes.
And then here's a hoodie from our Fortnite event we had left over for you. We saved it just for you.
Thank you.
It wasn't a leftover. We saved it just for you.
Appreciate you, man.
But yeah, you're welcome. We'll definitely
so
get
much.
you on again, and we'll have to get you out to some other events. Now that we know
Yes.
you game too, we'll have to get you on some of our gaming
yeah,
events.
I know. That'll be
So.
sweet. So
Okay, thanks,
appreciate
man.
you guys.
That's all we got. CougConnect out.
Thank you.